Morning, welcome back to Veggie Plot. It's another beautiful blue sky day here today. I think it's going to be the hottest day of the year so far today, and I've got some things to plant out as well, so I'll just spin you around and show you what I've got in the car to go up on the allotment. So the first thing we've got are some fennel, 4 fennel here to go in. I brought up a load of leeks, but they haven't. I'm not sure I'm going to have time to do these today, so I've got some leeks to do in if I have time. Some lovely red onions, which have been in these cells for far too long. Some red Romanov F1 cabbages, they've got to go out. And then over here we have got some celeriac monarch and some hollyhocks, which don't do all that well here, but I planted them, sowed the seeds rather, so they've got to go out. And then some more red Romanov cabbage. So that's what hopefully we'll get done this morning. That's the plan anyway. It really is a gorgeous day here. I can't quite get over how lovely it is. Due to cloud over in the week. So anyway, let's not waste any more time. Head over to the allotment and get going. Just had to pop back and get the harvest basket. Right, let's open the shed. Just want to get the watering cans out. Just want to get them filled up because the Jerusalem artichoke needs a watering, and also I've got some other pots I brought up which need a watering. I have to come back more or less every day or every other day at the moment to water this. It dries out so quick. There's a bit of moisture in the compost but not much, so got to get that watered. And also this netting's working really well. Birds aren't getting in and the kale is all looking good. Let's just put this scaffold netting over the top. Give this a good glug first and then do these. I've got some turnip down here which I want to have out. These are little ones, they'll be okay. They're probably better small, to be honest, so let's put them in there. I'll have this one out. Another one, and then we've got 2 here. I think the ground is actually quite dry. That's a lovely one, isn't it? Fantastic. And then this last one. Split, not so good, but there you go. It'll be alright when chopped up, put in the freezer. And I'm also going to harvest all the broad beans today because they're not doing particularly well and they're just beginning to get this, is it like a rust or a chocolate spot or something? Not quite sure anyway. I don't think these are going to last much longer. So I'm going to take what I can from these. Yeah, these are not too bad, are they, I suppose? I shall just put them in the shade so they don't dry out too quick. And then the first thing will be to do is to dismantle this. So I've just strung it together with a basic sort of twine, so I'm just going to cut that. And I like using this sort of basic twine because it will just compost it afterwards. So we'll just go on the compost, it'll just rot down nicely. So I've been really pleased with this little setup today because we really get an awful lot of wind coming through here on the allotment site, so I'm quite pleased these didn't bend or fall over at all, so I must remember this sort of structure for next year. But now is the time to take it out. Okay, right, let's go and get these hoops. Most of the time, well, previous to this, because obviously these pipes have a hole in, and what I've always done is I've put bamboo canes in the ground, and then you just poke these onto the end of the bamboo stick, and then at the end of the year you just take them out, take the bamboo stick out. But it's not always quite as simple as that, because quite often the bamboo stick will rot while it's in the ground, and then when you take the pipe off at the end of the season or whenever you want to, it's rotted off and it's rotted and gets stuck in the pipe, and it's really frustrating. And also sometimes they break when it's in it, so it's also not so great. So what I have found, what solution I have now found is off Amazon. I got these metal stakes, and they rust, but I don't think that really matters. But basically the little point on the end, they're about a couple of foot long maybe. Anyway, I just push these into the bed and then just slide the hoop over the top, and these probably outlast me, won't they? But yeah, so these are much better, and then at the end of the season just slide the hoop off, pull these out, put them back in the shed and use them next time. So if you ever get fed up with using bamboo canes, it's worth looking into this. They're not too expensive either, they're not galvanized or anything, so yeah. Right, so we need a load of these. I think, well, if I got 4, so I need 8. 4, and these are like the newer ones. I've got another set. These aren't rusty, as you can see. It won't take long before they do. Before we can put any of them in, I'm just going to harvest all these broad beans. These were autumn sown last year, so they've been in the ground quite a while. I expected them to be a bit bigger, but there you go. Right, let me show you. Did quite well out of that lot. Little small bed of broad beans, but I can't. Oh, throw half of them on the floor, shall I? Yeah, so not too bad. Just open one up here. Don't like them too big, but I think actually these are perfect size. Yeah, absolutely amazing. Lovely. And what we do is we hull them all out of this main shell. You probably know this, but if you haven't grown broad beans before, you might not. I think there's also fava beans in America. So yeah, you take them out, and then I plunge these into a bowl of boiling water for about 3 minutes, and then all these little outer skins go soft. And then you can just, once they've cooled, you take them out of the boiling water, plunge them into cold water, and they go soft and wrinkly, and you can just squeeze them, and then the inner bean just pops out. And this is the tasty bit. This bit is quite bitter, especially on the bigger beans. So I always take this off, some people don't. But yeah, when you take them off, you get this lovely little green, fleshy inner bean. And then you can do all sorts of things with that. Not unlike peas, to be honest. Right, let's take all this lot up to the compost. And then we can come back and get these beds sorted. I don't have a rake here on the allotment. I need to bring one. So it's out with a handy broom that's almost not a broom. Not many people who sweep their raised beds, do they? Very dry on the surface here. So I've got these Romanovs. Let me just show you actually. You see them? A lovely purpley sort of colour. Anyway, what I want to do first is to put them in position. And I figure I can probably get about 4 per bed, so I think about 12. So, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, that's the plan. I'm just going to have 4 per bed, because in theory, look at this side, I think this is going to go quite large. I'm going to put them fairly near the path, these in the middle, because the roots will go down and they will also find moisture from the path. Well, that's the plan anyway. Quite often what I've found is that these stakes, I can just push them in the ground, but sometimes not, so I've got a bit of wood to bang them in if needs be. Let's go and get a bit of string actually. What I'll do is just make sure they're in a straight line. So I'm going to bang this one on the end. This is going to be the guide. It just leaves about 12 inches sticking up above the ground, and then get the other end, quick loop in it, put that over the top and bring this down. and we should be able to create a nice straight line. Pull that tight, just check that's all right. Perfect. Okay, these are really quite firm in here now. And then what we'll do is we'll get the hoops, slide them on, and then work out where the spikes are going to go the other side. Right, so we'll mark where we want the next post to go. Put one in, and then do the same string method again. Perfect. Right, that's it. And these now are really, really sturdy. They're not going to slip anywhere. And when I take them off, I know I'm not going to be left with a bit of bamboo cane stuck in the pipe. Now you might think I'm putting the netting quite close to these courgettes, and you'll be right. But the idea of the courgettes is that I will lean them out and direct them to grow this way and not onto the netting, but it'll also give them a bit of support, I suppose. But that's what I did last year, encourage them all to grow onto this pathway. Right, got some water. I just realised I've left my trowel at home, which is really, really frustrating, so I'm going to have to make some holes with a crowbar. You realise what I don't understand what I'm doing with a crowbar. Just going to I mean, it's no dig, so it's pretty good, but the compost has compacted a little bit. I'm just going to make a hole, my hands as well, and make it quite deep actually, because with cabbages and things you can, I believe, plant them quite deep to help prevent rocking and things. So just to show you the roots, they're all looking nice, nice and loose, so loosen up a little bit. Anyway, I shall plant these a bit deeper just to help prevent them rocking about. Anyway, first things first is to put some water in the hole, put in the plant, and then fill in around it, leaving a little well just so I can top it up and the water stays around where the actual cabbage is. Never grown these. I'd be interested to know if you have. If you've got any hints and tips. Actually, this soil is really, really dry. And I think what it is also is that the compost, when I put these beds up, they were up to the edge of the boards. But actually now, if you can see, the compost has broken down and I'm reaching the soil level really easily. So I think this autumn we'll have to get in some more compost and some horse manure or cow manure and top all these beds up, I think. Right, so that's those 4. I'm going to get on with the rest of the 8 and then catch up with you when I'm finished. Right, that's all the cabbages in that I'm going to put in here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Minor miracle if I can get these to grow, but there's good height on the hoops, which should be good, give them plenty of room. But what I've decided to do, just for a bit of fun, and we'll see what happens, is I'm going to put these Cape gooseberries in the middle. You can see their roots are just poking out the bottom, which is a good sign, I think. They want to get on. And that one. So I'm going to take these 3. I've got one left, I'm not sure what to do with that. I'll take these 3 and I'm going to put them right in the middle. So I'm going to put them one in here. And hopefully, I don't think the cabbage mind a little bit of shade. If I put these in the middle, they get quite big. But by the time the cabbages are doing anything serious, I would think that these will be out. Right, let's go and get some canes and we can and some string, and we can string these up. Probably going to use these from the original Peath support that was here. There'll be a lot of stringing together, but Yeah, I think that should do the job. 1, 2, 3 like that. Now what I should do is tie them on the underside of the cane, so underside of the hoop, so that they don't catch on the fabric. That's the idea anyway. What we want to do now is get the netting, measure out the length, and then fling it over and weigh it down, and we're done. I'm going to put this string slightly long on the end under the stone, so I know we've got a bit of overlap, and then take this down here, down this side, and do the same here, but I'm just going to trim this off. This should be the right length now. Like before, just going to lay this out and unroll it, and when I get to the end I'm just going to cut through here. Right, I grab the whole thing, just lay that across the middle, get this end, and we'll see. Right, open that up. Right, finished. There we go. All up, all netted, all protected. So I might plant these onions now. They're in these deep cell trays from Container Wise, so the roots should be fairly good. That's got the onions in along here, more or less all of them. I'll put 3 over the other side, but I just want to collapse this netting now before any butterflies get in. I did see my first cabbage white today, can you believe it or not? That's all done. Wonderful. All the netting's down and all the onions are in. So that's a good job done today, I think. It's getting remarkably hot here, really hot. So it's time for me to get home, get a drink, and then come back and do some more another day. Okay, as always, if you've enjoyed this one, please like, subscribe, ring the bell. I think that's in that order. If you've got anything useful from it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.